Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into something absolutely fascinating. We're unpacking a highly absolutist, incredibly bold text that claims to hold the one and only flawless blueprint for the entire future of humanity. Let's just say, it's quite the manifesto.
And honestly, this text wastes zero time setting an unimaginably high bar. Listen to this. It makes the staggering claim that literally no divine being, not a god, not a Buddha, an immortal, or even a prophesied savior, could possibly create a lifestyle better than this system it's proposing. I mean, right out of the gate, we are looking at a vision that views itself as the absolute peak of existence.
Now, before we go any further, it is absolutely crucial to establish exactly where all of this is coming from. The generated video and audio, every blueprint, every societal critique, and all these massive claims about humanity's future originate entirely from one specific source, Xuefeng. He is the founder of the Life Chenyuan movement, and this manifesto is his definitive, uncompromising vision for the world.
So the author actually calls this master plan Xuefeng-style communism. And, it isn't presented as some theoretical idea that's still being workshopped in a think tank. No, it claims to be a fully prepared path to heaven. We're talking about a completely flawless mode of production and daily living that is supposedly ready to be implemented right this second.
What's truly striking here is the sheer scale of who this is actually for. While most movements, they target a specific demographic, this manifesto insists its path is for literally everyone. We are talking national presidents, billionaires, religious leaders, academics, right alongside everyday workers and farmers. Basically, if you are a human being, you are expected to walk this path. To prove its absolute superiority, the manifesto directly targets existing global superpowers. It argues that Western democratic nations, no matter how much they try to perfect their own social mechanisms, will always fall drastically short. According to the text, they can simply never reach the utopian heights of Xuefeng's model.
And it definitely doesn't spare the East either. It asserts that regardless of how much effort China puts into its development, it simply cannot produce the highly civilized lifestyle proposed here. So, by systematically neutralizing faith in the world's leading systems, the text positions itself as literally the only viable alternative left on the table.
This absolutism sweeps across the entire globe. The text explicitly mentions populations in Latin America, Africa, and Oceania, making the bold claim that none are capable of creating a society more ideal than this proposed one. There are absolutely zero geographic or cultural exceptions granted in this worldview. It is an all-or-nothing approach.
Having completely dismissed world governments, the manifesto then forcefully shuts down all outside intellectual debate. It actually commands thinkers to just stop seeking a better future entirely. Why? Because Xuefeng has already planned and arranged everything. Other intellectuals are brushed off as merely blind men feeling an elephant, basically just grasping at flawed, tiny fragments of reality.
It demands a complete intellectual monopoly. Any other theory, no matter how brilliant it might seem, is labeled as a balloon blown full of holes. Readers are strongly urged to stop wasting their energy meditating on outside ideas and instead pour all of their talents and wisdom strictly into advancing this singular, ultimate vision.
Moving beyond the intellectuals, the text shifts its tone quite a bit to directly target the suffering masses. It frames this whole system as the ultimate dream that their ancestors sought for generations. And interestingly, the author, who, by the way, signs off with the very cosmic title, Primordial Chaos, demands that they walk this path with a heart of gratitude. No hesitation, no looking around, just blind faith.
But then, the tone shifts dramatically. We go from a promised utopia straight into a severe, uncompromising warming. The text issues a definitive ultimatum about humanity's final fate, creating this intense urgency, where neutrality is simply not an option anymore. You have to pick a side.
The choice is laid out as an absolute binary. On one hand, compliance brings the blessing of a heaven-like existence. But rejection? Well, the text promises that poverty, endless suffering, fear, and ultimately death will completely swallow those who refuse to listen. It even dares the reader, saying if you don't believe it, let facts answer you.
As we get to the end, the manifesto closes with an assertion of pure inevitability. It boldly insists that this simply is the future of human life, regardless of whether people initially agree to it or not. There will absolutely not be a second model. The final advice reads like a ticking clock. Walk early and be happy early. Wait, and it will be too late.
Exploring Xuefeng's incredibly bold blueprint relieves us looking at the bigger picture. Texts like this tap into a deeply rooted human desire for ultimate order and perfection. But looking at the sheer absolutism required to actually achieve it, we have to ask, as long as humanity exists, with all of our beautiful flaws and chaotic complexities, will the search for an absolute perfect utopia ever truly end?